Welcome back to Mama G's workout. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I would rather work out in my jammas than anything else, so you get jammas today. Um, I was looking for. I've got some like 5 or 8 pound weights that I got at Five Below that I was going to use today. I seem to have misplaced them, so we won't be doing weights today. We'll just go for um, some of the stuff that we did before. Um, and if you're able, or if you have access to some weights, I do want to, and all you need is like one or two, um, and whatever pound you feel comfortable with. I've price checked at a lot of places. um, Five Below, if you have one nearby, is the cheapest or most cost effective per pound. Um, I've looked at like the 8 pound weight at Five Below, I think is $5 or $6. The 8 pound weight at Walmart, Target, and everywhere else that I know that sells weights um, has been double digits, so $10 or more. So, if you want to start doing weights in this, um, that's what I want to start doing. Um, I want to be able to start strengthening my veins. I'm not going for muscle. I'm going for strength. Because if I get better flow in my arms, it's just yesterday I commented about donating plasma, so that's why I'm talking about it. Okay, let's get going. Don't mind my husband. It's a running joke. We're Star Trek fans. There is a character. It's a little creature. It's a deadly creature. It's called a Moopsie. And every now and then, someone in the family just says Moopsie, and everybody laughs. So, uh, yeah, you just have to look it up. It's this cute little creature too. Anyway, so I'm just marching at the moment. Oh, as like I've said, the riddle this week is: down in the meadow there lived a great knight, all saddled, all bridled, all fit for a fight. Bronze was his saddle and brass was his bow. I told you his name 3 times in a row. What is it? So that's the riddle. Today is Tuesday, so in 3 days I will give the answer to the riddle. So um, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Oh, let's go for a little bit of a jog. Sorry, I don't have much to talk about today. I do know that if this is something that's slightly concerning you, and I will, it's something that as a kid, my parents were more worried about, like, um, emergency preparedness, having a food storage, and that kind of bled into me as an adult. And am I worried that the world is going to end? No, I'm not worried that the world is going to end, but I do see what's going on politically, and I see some of the things that those in power are doing. And if you have not gotten a food storage, I would recommend adding an extra can of soup or something that you enjoy, that dry goods that has a longer shelf life. Just add one extra every shopping trip. And then in a year, you'll have like a month worth of food storage. If you want to be more proactive about it, I have seen a lot of places. Walmart sells emergency food. Costco. I want to say, what's it? Sam's Club. If you're in an area with Winco, but I'm not sure. I haven't been to a Winco in a while. I don't know if they sell emergency food, or food that has a longer shelf life, like 15 years. But just, and if you don't end up using it, or if you don't end up needing it, you've got it. And then, hey, you know what? I don't need to go to the grocery store because I've got this. And yeah, it's just, and one person that I listened to, he's like, well, if you've got an extra taco night, hey, great, you've got an extra taco night, but you have all the stuff for it. And if you don't end up, like, if there's not something that requires you to have it, you are at least in a situation where if you need it, you have it. And I'd love to be this society of kumbaya, but if something were to happen, even in 20 years, if something were to happen and society starts to break down, I'm going to call it the zombie apocalypse, because if the zombie apocalypse were to happen and people start turning on each other because their basic needs aren't being met, then, you know, that's an issue. So just where I was going with that was just do what you can to just have a little bit of extra food. And I'm seeing some of these things. I don't know. I know that mainstream media isn't talking about it. Farmers in Germany are being targeted. And that's why I'm saying emergency food. Because if we're seeing it in other countries, it might take 10, 20, or even 30 years for it to get here in America. Well, but farmers are being targeted here in America. They're like, cows are the devil. They're not. And maybe I'll lose people with this, but the climate is always changing. It's what the planet does. Before humans, it had an ice age and an overwarming, and it does this. It's trying to regulate its temperature, and it's never gonna be normal across the board. So it's consistently going to do this, and just be prepared is all I'm saying. My dad was a scoutmaster for a lot of my years as a not a tween, but like 6, 7, and like for a long time. Anyway, so my dad was a scoutmaster, and so be prepared. and even if it's nothing to worry about, be prepared. And I think that's part of the reason I want to be healthier, is I don't want to be relying on the pharmacies for my health. I don't want to be like, am I going to be able to get my medication this month? Because I know in 2020, when shipments were not allowed in to America, and there weren't enough truckers to get stuff off ships, we didn't have the medications made in America, they were coming in from China. And China wasn't shipping them. So the medications that Americans needed were being denied or rationed because there are so many people on medications. So that's one reason I want to be off of medication. I don't want to be reliant on a pharmacy to be able to function day to day. So I think I'm done with the tangent. That's yeah. Anyway, something to talk about. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this high steps on the couch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And don't take my word for any of the news. Go do your own research. I don't cherry pick. I'm just like, I summarize. I'm like, I watch the data. This is the important part. Here you go. And I try really hard to stay off of politics. I'm not going to talk about either side of the aisle like that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about being fit. So just, yeah, have fun. I would love to have something more to talk about. If there is anything in particular you want me to talk about, please tell me in the comments below, because I'd love to actually have a conversation and not just, hey, I've been thinking about this today. So I'd love your opinion on what to talk about. I'm gonna do the high steps again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anyway, I've also been, I don't know how good I would be at it. I was never good at growing anything. I've been thinking about having or starting a garden. Like I said, I don't know how good I'd be at it. Maybe. I don't know. My mom was an avid gardener, so possibly. Anyway, I'm just running out the, making sure my hips are loose. I'm going to do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just shake it out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do the stretch because I love the stretch in my shoulders. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a stretch. And in my lower spine, make sure if you're doing this stretch, make sure your knees are bent. And you might not be able to, it's fine. All you're wanting is for things to slide around, shift back where they need to be. When you're ready, bend your knees, get your bum under you, roll up. Oh, I feel it in my shoulder blade. Means I've got a knot back there. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. God bless, and let's keep moving.